with us, basketball expert and former late-night comedy writer. People don't know this, Bill Simmons.
Yeah, as soon as I left, Kimmel's show took off, so I think I was the reason.
You built the foundation for it, let's be honest.
I was there for the early years.
You said it was a very influential time in your life, a very good thing for you to do.
Oh, it was fantastic. I learned a lot. I learned how to not get my jokes on the air, and I learned a lot about humility.
We've got the Minnesota Timberwolves facing the NBA champion Golden State Warriors. And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. Butler and Gibson, the duo at forward. And it's Towns in at center. Now here's Teague. The pass to Wiggins. Shot clock at 5. Passes to Towns. No good on that one. Nice D from Cousins. Releases. And Durant gets it to go. The assist from Green. Durant's got the first points up on the board tonight here for the Warriors. Pass to Wiggins. From down in the low post, it goes. Bill, when you take a look at Karl Anthony Towns, great size, all the intangibles. Would you say he's the gold standard for that modern big in the NBA now?
I think he has pieces of the gold standard. I don't think he's good enough defensively yet. I think he's a good piece for a winning team. I don't know if he's the best player on a contender, but I think he could be the overqualified second best player. I would put him in the range with like Paul George as somebody that if he's your best guy, you're probably going home in round one.
That's an all-star level.
Yeah, but if he's your second best guy, now we're talking.
Yeah.
So I think for Towns, whether Jimmy Butler can be the 1A to his 1B, I'm not sure. Jimmy Butler's never really done it at that level either, but it needs to be somebody like that.
Yeah, coming off that screen, wide open, just can't convert.
Well, I think, Greg, that's exactly what you want. The screen was solid. The execution just fell a little bit short on the shot.
Now here's Teague. Butler in the corner. And that misses. That would have put him up.
Boy, the defense gets into his head and alters his release when he really doesn't have to.
Basket good.
Well, Klay Thompson's simply one of the best to do it in the NBA right now when it's a catch-and-shoot situation.
Here's Teague after the made shot from Klay Thompson. They set the pick. Butler kicks to Wiggins, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thompson. Now we'd like to take this moment to show you the teams that a year ago made a trademark of scoring points off turnovers. In fourth, the Timberwolves.
And this team, in terms of scoring off of turnovers, that became the identity. I mean, they really look to disrupt and cause problems defensively, and boy, do they take advantage on the other end.
Here's Teague, and he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. Teague's got his first basket of the night.
The mid-range game of Jeff Teague is on point, doing work, sir.
Screen by Cousins. Green dishes to Curry. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got 3 assists now in this one.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Right, the effort could have been so much better. You've got to be willing to fight through that screen. There's no question about it.
Now here's Teague. Got it. Good job in the low post. Teague's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, I'll tell you what, impeccable work from Jeff Teague inside, showing great patience down in the lane.
Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved, and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision in LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
Now here's Durant after the miss from Karl Anthony Towns. Thompson against Wiggins. Green left side. Launches it. That shot no good. And Minnesota now the other way. Outside Butler. Feeds to Gibson. Wiggins outside. Here's Towns. And the rejection by Cousins.
And at nearly 7 feet tall, Cousins is a legitimate shot blocking threat, using that reach to deter shots.
Curry, good. Timberwolves trailed by 3. David Aldridge had a chance to catch up with head coach Steve Kerr. Dave, what do you have to say?
Well, Kevin, the crucial aspect in his mind is making things tough for them inside. He said they're a physical team, and they bring a lot of intensity. If we don't respond when they push us, we'll just get bullied all game. We're going to get down in the paint tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And Durant sends it back.
Boy, the long arms of Kevin Durant twice on the pipes.
Good on the bucket. 9 points for Steph Curry.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
All right, a moment to check out stats for Durant. Coming off a terrific season. He averaged about 26 points a game last year, 7 rebounds and 5 assists. He has been at his most dynamic, no question about it, a real handful.
Let's make no mistake, one of the elite talents in the NBA and operating at the highest level right now.
Here's Towns. They can't stop the run with that one.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on his game.
Yeah, scoring isn't coming naturally to him right now. Looking a little bit uncomfortable out there.
Bill, a top advisor for the U.S. High School Athletics and Activities Division, recommended that schools adopt eSports programs. What's your take on that?
I'm all in. It's probably my son's only chance to go to college, so I really hope it happens. Now, listen, the world changes every decade.
I know.
And you got to change with it. And the reality is eSports is one of the biggest things we have now. And if you're under 15, you're way more likely to play video games and be good at that than you are to do anything else. So why wouldn't we be able to benefit from that? The whole eSports in general, just the audiences they're getting and as a spectator event, that's been building. So why wouldn't that work for college?
Now here's Curry. Jeff Teague unable to get his shot to go. 6 to shoot. Wiggins against Thompson. Off target from outside. Thinking about how much sports video gaming has changed over the decades, Bill. Can you imagine a 13, 14-year-old Bill Simmons with the 2K product? You would just be all over that, wouldn't you?
You have no idea, Kevin Harlan. I was there for every step of the video game revolution. I had an Intellivision and an Atari. I had Nintendo. I had Super Nintendo. I had all 3 of the first PlayStations.
You played them all the time.
I played entire Madden seasons on the treadmill when I was like in my early 30s. Try playing any video game on the treadmill. Try it and try not falling off. It's impossible. I've been there every step of the way. I am pro esports. Basketball, I'm jealous of the people who can play 2K well because there's just, that sounds like an old guy, but so many buttons and so many things to remember. I'm always so impressed when people just remember all the combinations and stuff. I'm jealous.
Like your son does it.
My son
plays
can do
again.
it.
I know it.
But I could have done it. I know you could have. I want to take 1984 me out of a time machine and just give me this game. I would have unleashed.
Yeah, but 13-year-old Bill Simmons would like what 40-year-old Bill Simmons is.
13-year-old Bill Simmons would be amazed that 48-year-old Bill Simmons was getting paid to do anything. He would really be excited about that. Just that he wasn't living at home. We would have been fired up.
Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of those, and they won the title.
How old were you in 17?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on that team?
Cowens, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. Was probably the most famous NBA game ever of the, the kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something. But triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime.
Oh, no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing the whole second overtime, so I had to get up.
Here is Durant. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. Iguodala, right side. Outside for Durant. Back to Bell, and stolen by Jang. Here's Butler. It's not going to go for him. Great D that time from Iguodala.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Butler with the steal. Left side Rose. Got a piece of it. Now here's Livingston. He's covered by Rose. 1:58 left in the first quarter. And Bell kicks to Iguodala. Just 4 to shoot. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here. And here's the 2K leaderboard with the list of the league's top shot blockers from last season. 5th, Kevin Durant.
And shot blocking is the element of the game that I think he cares about the most. That's where he puts in that effort and energy.
Nice shot by Thompson. Bill, the way that super teams are being put together right now, good or bad for the league?
I'm confused. I have been watching this league since I was a kid. We've always had super teams. There's never been an era where we didn't. What do people think the Jordan era Bulls were, and what do they think the Shaq, Kobe Lakers were? This is how the league is. I think what bothers people this time around specifically is that the Warriors won 73 games and they added Kevin Durant. Now, I get it. I get why it bothers people. On the other hand, your job as a franchise is to tilt the competitive advantage in any way you can toward your favor. They did a great job building their team. They did a great job building enough cap space for this year that everybody knew was coming, the summer of 2016. We knew the cap was going to jump. And they played it perfectly, and they got Kevin Durant out of it. He played it perfectly, too. He was on a team. He wasn't going to win the title in OKC. He wasn't going to win the title playing with Westbrook. Not to sound like a Durant apologist, but he wants to win a title and beat LeBron James. If you're going to do that, you're going to try to get on the best possible team you can.
58 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Jang, a screen. Jang with the screen for Rose. Pass to Jones. Towns, the screen. Clock at 6. Jones kicks to Rose. A three-pointer off the mark.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
And now here comes Jones leading the break. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
Look, Kevin, no one's ever questioned his court vision. Rose playing unselfish basketball, being the leader this team needs him to be.
And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That's his first foul. Now here's Livingston, defended by Jones. The pass to Thompson. Over Rose. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. 9 points for Klay Thompson.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm.
Defensive player of the year.
You know, he just takes pride in being their anchor defensively. And if he's not seeing that effort, he's going to let you know about it.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And the Warriors, guys, what jumps out to you in this game, stats-wise?
In that opening quarter, I don't know that you could ask for much more.
They've been simply outstanding, Greg, and let's see if they can build off this early lead.
On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. Down low, it's Jang and Towns. Jones is out there with Derrick Rose, and it's Butler in at the small forward. Bill, it's interesting. More than 50 colleges and universities now offer scholarships in eSports. I did not know this, and that number is probably only going to go up.
Yeah, and it makes sense too. What's more popular, esports or water polo? No offense to the water polo players, but come on. Let's
kids love
move
it.
with the
They
times.
cannot get enough of these games.
No, we should have, every college should have esports.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Jones kicks to Rose. Here's Towns. Rebounded by Bell.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Here's Thompson. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Livingston. Livingston's got his third assist on the night. Timberwolves trail by 15. Outside, Jones. The call will go against Jerebko. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Here's Butler. Off the inbound. And that's 2 points on the layup. Butler's got his third basket of the night right there.
But Jimmy Butler is a gifted offensive player. On that particular instance, a nice interior score.
Inside, Bell. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. And the Warriors lead by 15.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, really good awareness by the scorer. You're seeing an opening in the defense and exploiting it beautifully.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Right. The effort could have been so much better. You've got to be willing to fight through that screen. There's no question about it.
Thompson passes to Livingston. Bell with a screen on Jones. Livingston with it, working on Jones. Just his first attempt. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Livingston's got his first bucket of the night.
Boy, how crafty is Sean Livingston getting into space in the mid-range. This is his game right here.
And the Timberwolves call timing. Klay Thompson with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Well, you wonder if with this timeout they're going to shake things up defensively, because everything they've thrown at him to this point has not worked. He's on a roll.
DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Golden State. Curry comes in for Thompson. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Teague is checked in for Rose. Here's Towns. Off the left rim and out.
Well, this is a tough night so far. They'd be smart to rely more on a couple of their other options.
Towns with the steal. Here's Jones. Lays it up and banks it in.
Oh, my goodness. That is how to attack the rim. Don't give the defense time to react. That's beautiful.
Curry against Jones. Now here's Curry. He's covered closely. Kicks it to Livingston. 6 on the shot clock. 14 feet away. And there are the Warriors now with another bucket. Bill, one shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot to get off? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a three. He's got the pull-up hissy jumper, as he calls it. He can go to the lane and pump fake and do a little drop step. And I just think he has the most move. Some people would say LeBron, but am I getting regular season LeBron or playoff LeBron?
Playoff LeBron.
Playoff LeBron would be my number one choice.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Regular season LeBron, I'm not as enthused about.
And that one, good.
What you want in pick and roll situations is an outstanding decision maker. Welcome to the party, Sean Livingston.
Jones dishes to Jang and finished off by Jang.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
And you can blame it on a terrible defensive breakdown, one that could possibly swing the momentum here.
Talking about last-second shot instincts, Bill, you mentioned LeBron, KD. What about Curry? Where does Curry rank in that conversation?
Curry's good.
Top five?
You can guard Curry in those one-on-one situations with the right people. I'm not saying you're to stop him, but, you know, you put a taller guy on him. And Curry, to me, Curry is the greatest not in the offense scorer I've ever seen in my life, where he can get 32 and hit 10 threes and wasn't really involved in the game. Just you forget about him for one play, and all of a sudden he's in the corner, and they're setting him up, or he's running off the screen. It's a lot, almost like what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were able to do, where, yeah, you run them off screens, and you tire the guys out, and you kind of hope the defense forgets they're out there. But he's not a conventional get-out-of-my-way guys. I'm going to get to the rim.
Absolutely.
Score like someone like Donovan Mitchell is.
And he's on the money with his first shot today. Urebko's got his first basket.
If you ever notice Stephen Curry's vision, his eyes are always looking for opportunities to find his teammates.
Outside, Towns. And stolen by Cousins. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
This is where we see Cousins a lot. He's always up there among the league leaders in free throw attempts. It's so hard to handle in the post. The D just never knows what to do with him.
The Warriors shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
And take a look back at last season, and what a season it was for them from the free throw line. 82% as a group.
Some changes for Golden State. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Urebko. And Kevin Durant subbed in for Andre Iguodala. Taj Gibson's checked in for the Timberwolves. Wiggins comes in for Butler. Both good from the line that time. And before the ownership changed in 2010, the Warriors franchise really staggered.
Yeah, they staggered to the point that in 2012, I wrote a long column for Grantland about, it was like the 60 reasons you can't blame the Warriors fans for booing their owner on Chris Mullin night. And I went through their whole history since they won the title in '74 of just all the horrible things that happened to them, all the dumb moves they made, all the dumb trades, all the things they never should have done. It was extensive. And after things flipped around, people mail me that article all the time, like, can you believe it? We've won 3 titles in the last 4 years. You just wrote this. Feels like yesterday. And it was. It's one of the most amazing turnarounds of any franchise I can remember.
I'm assuming you're a fan of their front office.
Yeah, very, very smart. But, you know, the pieces were there. When they bought the team, everyone thought they overpaid. And not to toot my own horn because I've been wrong a million times, but I was one of the only people who didn't think they overpaid. I just felt like that market was awesome. I loved their fans. It was in the heart of Silicon Valley. It made sense that they should be a juggernaut, you know, and they had never really had good ownership. And as we learn over and over every year at the Knicks, like, owners matter. They just do.
Well, to me, the infectiousness with which Draymond Green plays, it impacts everyone around him. I love that.
On the wing, Thompson. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Thompson's got 9 points in the quarter.
Boy, every time he goes up now, it just looks like the shot's going in. He's perfect from the field in this quarter.
T kicks to Zhang. Dishes it to Wiggins. Gibson up top. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Teague inside the line. And it's Durant with the rebound. Durant's got his 4th rebound in this one.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
I'll tell you, very few players are as smooth and as easy as Kevin Durant is on the move. He just glides around the floor.
And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That's foul number 2 for him.
Oh boy, that's 2 on him now. And if he gets a 3rd foul before halftime, his playing time is going to have to be limited for a bit.
And I just love how Durant goes so hard on the defensive side, making an effort to alter as many shots as possible.
Nice shot by Thompson.
You're right. Something has to change in their defensive approach. They're making things far too hard on themselves right now.
Outside Teague. Gibson in the post. He's against Green. Warriors leading by 20. To the middle. And then Durant with the dunk.
Exceptional play across the board. I love their tenacity, just piling it on at this point.
You know, and the beauty is it hasn't just been offense, right? It's been the defensive end as well. They're firing on all cylinders right now.
Gibson passes to Wiggins. Stolen by Thompson. 3-on-3. Beyond the arc. Minnesota with the rebound. Here's Jones. Right side Teague. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
A moment here to see the stats for Stephen Curry. Last season, he played outstanding. He was around 26 points per game, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. And he paced the whole team in points per game last season.
Well, his teammates understood that he was their best option. And understandably, Greg, they got him the rock.
Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. On the wing, Jones. Guarded by Kerr. And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Durant. Derrick Rose is checked in for Jones. Warriors on D. They have a 22-point lead. It's the most they've led by. And that one's good. Wiggins.
Now, this guy can do it anytime he wants. Andrew Wiggins with broad shoulders to carry the load there.
They set the screen. Back to Curry. Lets it go with a 3. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Thompson against T. Here's Wiggins. The Warriors pull it in. Cousins has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
On its way from Curry for 2. And there are the Warriors now with another bucket.
I'll tell you, it's incredible to me how consistently Steph Curry is. Dealing with a hand in his face, keeping his focus, and the jumper is just tight. Boy, now you have to think about pulling him. 3 fouls already in this half. A 4th would be inexcusable.
Minnesota shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. No good on that one.
You'd be hard-pressed to find an area where Zhang's growth has not been seen. No longer a guy you can send to the line.
Jordan Bell's checked in for Golden State. He hits the 2nd from the line.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Passes it to Durant. Over Wiggins. And Durant gets it to go. The assist by Curry. Durant's got 16 points.
You can really tell when Kevin Durant is in the flow because his scoring looks like it's second nature. He's going to go down as one of the all-time best.
Back to Zhang. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. The Timberwolves shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And they had a lot of success a season ago as a team, hitting about 80% of their free throws.
Well, we want to thank the sports guy for being here. Enlightening as always. Bill, what a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I hope my son was impressed. Thank you, Kevin.
I'm sure he was. Door is always a spirited discussion when Bill's involved, not afraid to share his personal views.
Yes, Kevin, he has broken the internet once or twice. This guy is no stranger to controversy. But I will say this, he is passionate about the NBA.
Wiggins sets a screen for T. He kicks it to Jang. And there's the call on Durant. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
At the line for the Timberwolves.
Gorgie Jang, the 21st pick in 2013 out of Louisville. He's more than lived up to that selection.
Well, let's remember, this is a national champion we're talking about. The Louisville Cardinals won it with him anchoring them defensively. He's also shown a nice shooting touch in the mid-range game in the professional leagues. But I think it's his defense that still remains the strength of his game.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two.
Well, to me, Klay Thompson has proven to be one of the best players in the game. This guy is an incredible sniper from long range and defends at a very high level.
And so Thompson nails both of them. Klay Thompson, the 11th pick in the 2011 draft. If you were to do a redraft, you'd have to think he'd go in the top three.
Well, certainly at least top three. Kawhi Leonard and Kyrie Irving were both in that draft as well. Listen, what people knew was that Klay Thompson could shoot. Even Klay said he thought he'd be a 3-and-D player in the NBA and perhaps nothing more. You have to think about the athleticism and the work habits that have made him a more well-rounded player. But boy, Klay, big time player.
Rose against Curry. Rose kicks to Wiggins. Over Durant. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Can happen. Klay Thompson has been sensational.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
I don't think you could ask for anything more from this guy. He has been fantastic to start this one.
The tremendous pair of Curry and Klay in the backcourt. Durant and Green are the forwards. And it's Cousins in at the center position. So that's the group out there for Golden State. Here's Butler. Outside Teague. Gibson passes to Towns. Shoots over Cousins. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
Well, battling hard. That's an impressive move by Towns. He'll go to the strike.
Karl Anthony Towns, a tremendously talented scorer, but Dorsey came into the league billed as a potentially foundational defensive player.
And that's interesting, Kevin, because that's the end of the floor where he has work to do. You know, there's so much asked of today's centers, but with mentors like Kevin Garnett, Taj Gibson, Jimmy Butler, you know he's getting the right advice. And boy, what a gifted offensive player Karl Anthony Towns is.
It's the length of Durant that helps him in the interior. He's just a polished forward who scores with ease. Almost impossible to stop.
Outside Teague. Wiggins outside. Towns the screen. Wiggins kicks to Butler. Shot clock at 6. Towns the screen. Off the pick. Teague can't hit.
Well, the defense trying to get out on him, but he's left with the open shot. He's got to make that one.
If anybody came in here expecting an off night from KD, think again. A spectacular game for one of the NBA's greats.
Teague with the ball, and Curry picks him up defensively. Teague the pass to Towns. Wiggins outside. Towns trying to get open, and Wiggins with the basket on the assist by Towns. And that's now 9 points for Andrew Wiggins. Curry kicks to Green. The screen from Thompson. Gibson against Green. Screen by Cousins. Shot, high post. Green, no luck. Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Towns a screen on Curry. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Cousins pulls it in. Cousins has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Durant, good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Durant's got 23.
And this is Durant's game, right? As soon as he catches the ball, he's ready. Pre-shot preparation outstanding.
Pass to Towns. Back to Teague. It's stolen by Curry. They get a hand on it. Pass to Cousins. And another three for Golden State.
And very solid three-point shooter for a big man. Part of what makes Cousins so dangerous at that end of the floor.
Towns the screen. T kicks to Butler. And there's the pass to Towns. The kick out to T. Towns the screen. 4 on the shot clock. Out of bounds. Golden State takes possession.
And let's check out some of the numbers here on Karl Anthony Towns. Great showing for him last season. 4th in rebounding, 11th in blocks, and a great touch around the rim. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
And he's so physical, so explosive. You really can't keep him off the glass when he wants to get there. That's why he was a top 5 rebounder a season ago. Here's Livingston. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 6 rebounds in the game. Wiggins outside. Towns sets the pick for Wiggs. Kicks it to Towns. Shoots over Cousins. Towns dishes to Gibson. Jones against Curry. Towns the screen. Another shot. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, what you love about Jimmy Butler to me is he can carry an offense. He can also affect the game with his high-level defense. That is the rarest of rare combinations.
The first free throw is good.
You know, guys, you think about Jimmy Butler, drafted by the Chicago Bulls, and he goes from bench warmer to star. And I always had the sense that once Tom Thibodeau was no longer a part of the Chicago Bulls organization, that Jimmy Butler's days might be numbered there as well. But I think the trade ended up working for both teams.
Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations for Thompson.
And everything he's touched has turned to gold. If you are on defense, you have to make sure all 5 players know exactly where he is at all times, because if he gets a sliver of a look, he'll get it done.
Now Jones. Outside Butler. Towns the screen. The Timberwolves get it back in a new 24.
Well, he spent 1 year in college at Kentucky, yet Karl Anthony Towns has made such a smooth transition to the NBA. His ascension, guys, has been really remarkable.
And these are his 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight. And the first one drops.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Good on both.
And already a leader at such a young age. Towns' teammates look to him to anchor them on both ends, and he has not disappointed.
Got freed up. Nice work off the pick. 20 points for Steph Curry.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Curry against Jones. Left side Butler. Outside Towns. Trains the three-pointer. Towns has got 16 points.
Well, what a beautiful outside touch. Karl Anthony Towns knows he has the green light to shoot, and he does it with such confidence.
Back to Jerebko. Iguodala against Butler. Tipped away. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here. And while we have a chance, let's take a look at the best free throw shooters in the league from last season. Number 1, Steph Curry.
And no doubt he finished the season right where he should have on that list. He was far and away the best free throw shooter in the league.
Just 5 on the clock. Green, the pass to Livingston. Over Wiggins.
Well, Wiggins' raw athleticism is going to make him versatile enough to guard a number of positions.
Jones against Curry. Towns a screen on Curry. To the paint. And Wiggins gets it to go on the assist by Jones. Wiggins has got 5 points in the quarter. Curry kicks to Livingston. Green passes to Livingston, and he makes good on the layup.
I think you pay the consequences if you leave Draymond Green's teammates open. He has a knack for getting the basketball where it needs to be.
Minnesota calls timeout with college basketball expanding the three-point arc out to FIBA range. Doris, does that set the table, you think, for the NBA to move its arc, their three-point shooting line, out as well?
I think one of the things that I would like to see, Kevin, is a more unified game across countries, right? We've talked about the NBA and basketball in particular becoming a more global game. I think one thing that I'd really love to see at the lower levels of basketball in the formative stages is young players have to play with a shot clock. Because what that forces those players to do is be three-tool players. Under duress of a shot clock, you better be able to put the ball on the deck, make a pass, or take a shot. So I think the more we can normalize a set of international rules, the better basketball is going to be long-term.
The Warriors making a switch here. Bell's checked in. Towns with the bucket.
Dominating this quarter. He's been absolutely fantastic shooting the ball, and they still trail.
Passes it to Iguodala. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, his value to this team on both ends. Not many guys can defend the perimeter and the rim the way Towns can.
And a quick look at how the Minnesota Timberwolves schedule is shaping up. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the San Antonio Spurs. And then on Friday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And when you look at that Pacers matchup, it's always interesting for top teams to see how they compare to the best in the East. This will be a chance to see just what this group is made of.
Doris, with Jordan Bell comes a highlight reel dunk waiting to happen.
You never know what could happen in transition with the tremendously athletic Jordan Bell. This guy's a high flyer, big-time fan favorite, and I love that despite the flash in his game, this guy is a grounded, high-character individual. What a fantastic game he's had on the offensive end. If only his teammates could keep up.
Iguodala kicks to Jerebko. Curry on the wing. To the middle. He's looking for Bell and finds him. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Well, Jordan Bell is going to be smart when he takes his opportunities on the offensive end. Really good job taking good shots.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. Golden State's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Livingston with it. 8 points for him. The shot. And it comes off the front of the rim.
That's an example of great defense. His teammates love that about him. Always why the shooters struggle against this guy.
Rose kicks to Butler. Towns a screen on Iguodala. Iguodala against Butler. Towns the screen. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
Listen, Derrick Rose is not a pure shooter, but when he's in rhythm, he can really get it going.
Curry against Rose. Outside Curry. Bell with a screen on Rose. Here's Livingston. It's rebounded by Towns.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
When it comes to building confidence, Doris, some people say playing one-on-ones in practice is a huge help. Is that something that you did when you were playing at Providence?
Kevin, I believe this could be the single greatest development tool for any individual player. If you start at the free throw line and play one-on-one against a player who's maybe slightly above your level or certainly at your level, and you limit that one-on-one from the free throw line to 2 dribbles or less, your skill set, I promise you, is going to develop. The other thing I would encourage young players to do is play 3-on-3, because it forces you to move and to cut and to screen and how to do those things properly if you're going to be effective. I love 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. It always helps you when you go back to the 5-on-5.
Such great advice. And you think about how the Warriors attracted Kevin Durant to the team and all these all-stars coexisting. It doesn't always work like that, does it?
No, and I give a lot of credit to Steph Curry, a 2-time league MVP, but he never lets his ego get the best of him. His good-natured calm and sense of serenity kind of set the tone and maybe balance a bit of what Draymond brings to the locker room.
Year after year, the Timberwolves have the NBA's most grueling travel schedule. A lot of miles to cover in the West.
Kevin, if you add up their flights in a season, they could circle the globe more than twice. And let's remember, there's no frequent flyer miles here either.
Warriors have gotten half their shots to drop in the second half, up to this point going 7 of 14. Livingston, no luck.
Well, he's trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but it's not helping his team. That was an awful quarter.
Over to the left wing. Back to Wiggins. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 4 assists in the game. Curry passes to Bell. Jerebko the screen. They set the pick. Curry kicks to Iguodala. Back to Curry. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Rose.
Well, Steve Kerr has talked about the emotional and spiritual fatigue that can set in for a Warriors team that has now played in 4 straight finals. And remember, Steve Kerr knows a thing or two about this from his years with the Chicago Bulls. They simply have to fight through it.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Durant comes in for Jerebko. And it's Thompson in for Sean Livingston. Here's Butler, and there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
Well, Butler needs a lot of defensive attention when he's in the mid-range. You've got to have a body on him.
Golden State's gone 7 of 11 from deep tonight, using the three-point to their advantage. Well, Coach Steve Kerr looks to give his players breaks. Doris getting away from the game, what he calls filling their cup.
Well, I think, Kevin, it's mentally taxing, battling 10 months a year over and over again. And Steve is emphasizing it's important to have time away from basketball to recharge a bit.
Shots good by Durant.
Well, Durant embracing the contact, Kevin. He plays with so much confidence.
Rose kicks to Towns. Butler passes to Towns. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andre Iguodala. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus. We'll go to the line to shoot 2.
How about Karl Anthony Towns, guys? At the age of 11, guess how tall he was? 6'3". So it was his goal to develop a complete skill set all the way back then. Boy, how about that? Ahead of the game in terms of the NBA.
DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Golden State. He hits both from the stripe. And talk about the mindset nowadays. Kids like Towns growing up not content to just play in the paint.
That's exactly right, Kevin. His father would divide their workouts into 2 halves. The first was face-up, dribbling, perimeter shooting. The second half of that workout, the interior, footwork, mic and drills, finishing over either shoulder. Boy, that's a pretty smart dad.
And so far, going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the three-point shot.
To the inside. And Thompson gets it to go in on the assist by Curry. Curry's got his 5th assist in this one. Minnesota's gotten the 3-ball working for them in the second half. They've hit 3 out of 3 shots from long range. Rose kicks to Butler. 19 seconds left in the third. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And just no question that Butler is a bona fide star. I mean, a tough, rugged defender who's also a juggernaut on offense.
And so Butler nails both of them. There's 18 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Rose against Curry. Cousins with a screen on Rose. There's the feed to Thompson. Can't connect from short range.
Point guard play is so critical in today's NBA, and you see it right there on display.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Butler and Gibson, the duo at forward. Teague out there with Rose. And it's Towns in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Offensive rebound, and he lays it straight in. Towns has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Timberwolves. Curry kicks to Cousins. Durant against Butler. Back to Cousins. Thompson way outside. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Thompson's got 27 points.
His first triple of the second half. That makes 3 for the game.
Gibson dishes to Teague. Towns a screen on Thompson. Teague can't hit.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
And it's Durant missing. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Butler gets that one to fall. That's his 6th field goal. He has shot the ball 12 times.
What floor awareness from Karl Anthony Towns to be 7 foot and that skilled. How lucky is he?
Gibson with the steal. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. That is his first foul of the game. And the Warriors making a change here. Green's checked in. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Curry against Rose. And Gibson now atop the key. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Butler. The shot off that time. So Golden State will take it the other way. It's stolen by Teague. Rose against Curry. Rose kicks to Teague. Probably no surprise, Doris. Fans would rather watch shots being hit from the field over free throws. So should the league do anything to perhaps cut down on trips to the free throw line?
You know what, Kevin? I don't know that I necessarily think there need to be fewer trips to the charity stripe. I don't like the hack-up player strategy, and I think that we've taken a good first step toward correcting that particular issue. But right now, I like the way the game is played in terms of officiating. My only objection to the way the game is officiated is take away those intentional fouls that are prohibiting fast break basketball.
Yeah, once Thompson gets going, he is almost impossible to slow down. We're seeing that tonight. Their entire offense is revolving around him, and boy, is he coming through.
Curry against Rose, and there's the call on Curry. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Towns, the pass to Rose. Butler dishes to Rose. Gibson the screen. 4 on the clock. Rose goes in, loses his man off the screen, and lays it up and in.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Thompson in the post. Teague covering. And then Cousins with the dunk.
You got to love how Cousins uses his size, his reach. He's more prolific on the defensive glass, but obviously a factor on the offensive end as well.
And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Boy, nice feed. Leading him into some space. A nice catch on the run, too. Wow.
And, Greg, what's not to like about Taj Gibson?
I mean, he's a hard worker defensively, finishes well inside, he's got the mid-range shooting touch. But what I like most, really, his unselfishness. He started, came off the bench, no complaints. This is a guy that just wants to win.
That's good from Gibson. The G League, Doris, growing roster of teams, introduced two-way contracts last season. Is it safe to call it an official minor league at this point, do you think?
Well, I'm just going to say that I thought this was one of the best changes to the NBA last season. And you look at certain players who went back and forth between the G League, and when they were up with the respective NBA team, they were a significant part of the rotation. Quinn Cook comes to mind. The NBA champion had a two-way player in Quinn Cook, who was a vital part of their G League and then becomes a vital part of their real-time success. To me, what a tremendous platform for player development, Kevin.
Yeah, the league has gotten it right with this. And that one's good. Towns.
Paid zero attention to excellent defense. Karl Anthony Towns, great concentration and delivery.
And stolen by Jeff T. Rose attacking, so he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and two shots coming up.
Oh, the officials are all over that one. And unfortunately, injuries will always be the concern with Derrick Rose. Still loves the game of basketball, knows he is limited compared to what he once was. Amazing with all he's fought through, he can still perform at such a high level.
And with Rose, as you said, his love of the game is still there. He still wants to play.
I mean, many players would have just walked away from having their body betray him. But Rose said last season he loves what he gets to do and still would be a water boy if he had to. You have to admire Rose's attitude and approach in that regard.
And Gibson kicks to Rose. Gibson setting a pick for Rose. Count that one. Rose has got 6 in the quarter.
I tell you, that's good defense. But Rose with the better shot-making ability, living it up on the interior.
Lobbed up there for Durant.
This is what he does for this team. Provides consistent scoring that helps them get the lead and keep it.
Timberwolves trail by 20. Outside, Towns. To the inside from 13. That one's not going to go. Good D by Thompson. Warriors have gone 6 of 9 on their field goal attempts since the start of the fourth quarter. It's stolen by Rose. A lot of times late in the season, Doris, we see the expensive vets bought out of their contracts. Often they sign for a cheap price for a true contender, and that affects parity among postseason qualifiers.
No doubt about it, Kevin. It really brings into very sharp focus the value of a quality GM, because the rich can get richer, and it can tilt things toward the top teams. I don't mind it, Kevin. Part of the reason these players agree to a buyout in the first place is the opportunity to choose their next situation. It is within the rules, and therefore I have no problem with it.
I like it as well. Goes up the baseline, and Towns gets it to go. Towns has got 18 points just in the second half.
And guys, when everything is working for Karl Anthony Towns, he can put up absolutely staggering numbers. What a performance here.
And now the Timberwolves on the break. Rose against Curry. Towns the screen. Rose kicks to Wiggins. Wiggins drawn the double team. 5 on the clock. Towns. Count it! And he'll have a chance for a three-point play. Cousins. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, you think about Andrew Wiggins, guys, signing that max deal in 2017. Timberwolves ownership, though, wanted to sit down with Wiggins to hear him commit to being a better player. Pretty unusual stuff.
And it's good off the back rim and in. And that's 31 points for Kevin Durant.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Rose kicks to Towns. Over Iguodala. And that one's good. Towns has got 11 points in the quarter. And on the heels of that contract extension, all of Andrew Wiggins' shooting percentages fell last season. Doris, you think a cause for concern for the Timberwolves?
Well, I think obviously, Kevin, anytime you've committed almost $30 million a season to one guy, the expectations are going to be sky high. For me, Andrew Wiggins needs to just stay consistent. We are talking about a guy with elite athleticism, plenty to take advantage on the offensive end. It's a question for me of, does Andrew Wiggins want to be great? Because the potential is there.
Outside Rose. Towns the screen. Lays it up and banks it in. Towns has got 35.
Fact of the matter is, Karl Anthony Towns could be a menace on the glass. Good luck with this guy.
Curry against Rose. There's the pick. Curry kicks to Thompson. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one.
I'll tell you, this guy will not stop pouring it on. It doesn't matter what approach they've tried to use against him. He has had an answer for everything.
Towns the screen. Outside Butler. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Bell is checked in for Kevin Durant. In Andrew Wiggins and Jimmy Butler, two pretty different stories for these Timberwolves teammates.
About as opposite as you could get in terms of your entry into the NBA. Andrew Wiggins, the former #1 overall pick. Jimmy Butler, the 30th pick. Wiggins is the son of professional athletes, a blue-chip prospect. Butler's background, a guy who's had to scrap and claw his way every step of the way. So interesting to see how these two grow together and work together to help this team win.
Oh no, he's the last guy you want to put on the line. You can just about book the points every time he steps up there.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on that one. Greg, you look at the lineup for the reigning champs. When healthy, this team starts 5 all-star players at every position.
And even with Boogie coming back from a devastating injury, this team is scary. People immediately called it the best team ever assembled. Credit the front office, but the Warriors players still have to prove they are the best ever on the floor this season.
Feeds it to Thompson. And stolen by Wiggins. Down low. Gibson passes to Teague. To the inside. It's stolen by Bell. And here's Thompson. He kicks to Curry.
Who's watching here?
Now, here's Thompson. They set the pick. Clock at 6. It's deflected. Towns with the steal. Here's Teague. Bell with the block.
Well, the high motor, versatile defender, Jordan Bell, twice on the pipes.
Iguodala outside. Pass to Thompson. Over Wiggins. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Down low. It's tipped. It's stolen by Green. Iguodala kicks to Curry. Thompson against Wiggins. Thompson is double. Here's Green. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got 5 assists tonight.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Warriors.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game. And I think ultimately that earned the W.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And we watched them all night long. No one could really stop them. Just another excellent game it was for Klay Thompson.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Kevin Durant's checked in for Golden State.
First team foul. Checking in for your Warriors, Kevin Durant.
And 1:01 left in the fourth quarter. Gibson with the steal. T kicks to Wiggins. Stolen by Thompson. Down low. There's the pick. Green, the screen. Iguodala with a screen on Butler. Poke loose. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Curry. From deep three-point range, it's rebounded by Towns.
Yeah, and even with his range, that one might be asking a little too much.
Yeah, that zip code might extend beyond his range. My goodness, let's take a better shot next time.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Right, frustrating for sure, Greg. I don't think they'll be able to mount a comeback at this point.
Wiggins up top. He's covered by Thompson. And it's Wiggins missing. So we see the Warriors taking the game here.